Welcome, 7th graders. This is day 4 of your Rube Goldberg project. So you can see the two things we're going to do today is mainly just figure out your plan, and then you need to sketch it. We need to have a plan before we actually start building on day 5. And so that's what we're going to talk about first, is figuring out what that's going to be. And so to do that, first question is ask yourself, do you know what you want to build and design? Can you envision what you want your Rube Goldberg to look like? If your answer is no, if you don't really have an idea yet, go back and do some more research, and that's totally fine if you need to look up more ideas. For those of you, though, who have done research and you know what your Rube Goldberg project is going to look like, then it's time to start creating that blueprint and that sketch of what your plan is going to be. And so when you do that, keep in mind you want to have all 6 simple machines in your project. And so it's fun to build and have a chain reaction, but remember, we got to have those different simple machines in there. So with that being said, we have to keep in mind 5 things when you're doing your sketch. And the 5 things to remember when you do your drawing is, number 1 is label each material in your drawing. So draw arrows to show what each material that you're going to use. Not necessarily what you saw in research, but what are you going to use, so make sure you draw arrows with the material. Then label the simple machine that you're using or in your sketch. And then write a description of how it's going to work. So it'll help us when we're looking at your drawing if you give an explanation of first, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, and that'll make it easier to follow along. Next is when you're done with the sketch, you're going to insert that into your design notebook. So make a big drawing so that we can see it a little bit easier in your design notebook. And color, it's not required, but it definitely helps. And then lastly, when you're making your plan, make sure you have the materials with you, because if you have a plan, if you found some idea that you like from online, well, that's great. But if you don't have the materials and you can't do it yourself, you have to come up with a different plan because you are going to be doing the building yourself. So we're going to look at a sample Rube Goldberg, and I'm going to play a video, and it's actually what I did for my research in the video for day number 3, and try to envision then what do you want your Rube Goldberg to look like. And then from there, we'll do backwards planning where we will draw it out, we will plan it out. And so with that in mind, if you wanted yours to look like this, I'll play through it in slow-mo. Okay, so let's say that is what you want to do, or it's an idea. Maybe you want to combine ideas from different research ideas. But if that's what you want it to look like, then this is my Rube Goldberg sketch. So you can see, and I'm just going to explain it. The car went down, the car then went forward and hit the dominoes, hit the golf ball, and went through the cup to turn the lamp on. So with that being said, this sketch is wonderful. However, if we go back to the 5 things that we have to have in our sketches, well, what's missing? You can see one thing that I have to do is label what simple machines are in here. So I went ahead and labeled. This is an inclined plane. The toy car is wheel and axle. There was a wedge that was keeping the wheel and axle from going forward. And then we have a lever here. So that is 4 simple machines. I challenge you to try getting all 6 of them in your plan and in your sketch. After you label the simple machines, you also have to label the materials. So for the inclined plane, I used a binder, or really that video used a binder, a Hot Wheel car, the lever here, it's dominoes, and then a golf ball, Titleist Pro V1, and then a cup that had a hole cut out. So make sure you label it. Lastly then is a description. So what I wrote in the description is the car will go down the inclined plane. It will then bump the next car and travel down the car track until it starts the dominoes. The dominoes fall and bumps into the golf ball, and the golf ball will fall through the cup and land on the lamp's light switch. So that description is, bring this up here, that description is at the bottom of my sketch. And you can see step 1 was right here, step 2 is right here. It lines up with what I wrote at the bottom. And so when you do that, insert, this would be my final sketch. insert this into your design notebook. And that's going to be your way of giving proof that you have your plan before you start building. And so looking at your design notebook, I'll go back here. You're going to find it, and go scroll down until you see the start of day 4. And so that's where we are at. All of the details of the instructions that I'm going over are here. So remember to label everything, the must do, should do, and aspire to do with how many simple machines are going to be in there. And then you're going to take your sketch, and if you click on this here, insert an image and camera, you could then hold up your sketch. You could hold your sketch up to the camera, take a picture of it, and it would go into this here. My camera's not working because I'm already using the video camera for the video. But this is your job, your responsibility to do before we start building, and that's an important part of the design process, is to have that plan, and so we know what we're going to build.